Hey guys, Troubletcat here, recording for the Zombie Arcade. You're watching Meet the Weapon, and this is actually a live commentary. I'm recording as I'm playing. We're still gonna have real facts about the weapons. I've got my notes open on my second monitor, and actually, just try to remember some of the shit. But today we're looking at the SV-98, and you can see me here using it just with an iron sights and a straight pull bolt. I wanted to do at least one of the bolt-action rifles and just show you guys iron sights on one of them, just because it's fun to use. It's not something I would really recommend. You're going to do better if you have a red dot sight or a holographic sight, at least if you want something close quarters, or if you want, something a bit longer range. You're going to do better with optics on your sniper rifles, guys, seriously. However, man, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, I've had a couple beers, so this gameplay might not be the most amazing thing in the world. Anyway, hopefully the commentary will make up for it. Hopefully. It's always good to have hopes. It's just a fun loadout to use when you're just rocking out the iron sights. It reminds me of my Call of Duty 2 days, and if you come on the stream, or I might have mentioned in videos before, Call of Duty 2 was my favorite COD, and it was a game that I much liked. And in that game, everybody was using bolt-action rifles, and if you used an auto, you were kind of a noob, like this guy who killed me with an M5K. And so that's why I'm using this with bolt-action here with the iron sights, not because I think it's good, but because, fuck, I really thought I was going to catch that guy in the face. But because I just think it's fun. I spent a while trying to record this video, trying to get some nice, solid gameplay. Turns out, I got a lot of sort of little good short clips with the SV-98. We did a few different loadouts and stuff like that, and I don't know, I never found I got really one really solid game, and I think it's just kind of tough to get really exciting gameplay with these bolt-action sniper rifles, especially for me. Like, I'm not a guy who spends a lot of time using these guns or anything like that. I'm much more of an assault rifle or a submachine gun kind of guy. And so, it's just rough for me. Anyway, that was a bit more of an extended intro than I normally throw in before I get to the real weapon details from real life, but let's get into that now while there's still plenty of time left. So, I actually couldn't find a whole lot of information around the internet about this gun, interestingly enough. I'm not sure why that would actually be. I think it's somewhat of an uncommon weapon, possibly, or... yeah, I'm not really sure. It's not widely deployed by any current military, so... maybe it is a bit of an uncommon gun. Not certain on that, but I did find some information. So, SV-98 is short for Sniperskaya Vintovka Model 1998, which I hopefully pronounced not too horrifically. And, I shouldn't have switched weapons there. If you see me doing that thing where I switch to my pistol and then back to the sniper rifle, that's because I've been playing a lot of CS lately, and you do that in CS. Not in BF3 normally. But anyway, that's short for Sniper Yas, well, whatever the fuck I said earlier, I'm not going to say it again, and was designed, as you can probably guess, in 1998. The gun's actually based off of a series of rifles used for sports shooting, which were called the... I don't remember right now. That's great, TTC. Real professional. I never claimed to be a gun nut, damn it, and I didn't write that down for some reason. Anyway, the weapon has a 25.6-inch barrel, which is apparently quite heavy and free-floating. And, son of a bitch, I was around the corner. And it can be fitted with a specially made suppressor if so desired. It comes with an integral bipod, which you can see me not using here. And it's equipped with iron sights and a Picatinny rail, which can mount a wide variety of optics, which you can see in the game, represented fully on that model. And apparently the gun is normally either used with the PKS 07 7x scope, which you can get in BF3, or a 1P69, and I'm really mad that it's 69, variable magnification sight, which is not available in BF3, and according to the manufacturer, is effective to a range of 1 kilometer, which is pretty dope. It comes in both 7.62 by 51mm NATO round, or you can get one chambered in, which I believe is the standard actually, chambered in 7.62 by 54 rimmed, which is of course a cartridge that a lot of sort of Russian weapons tend to use, including the PKP. And that's the one in the game, according to Battlelog, is the 7.62 by 54mm. The weapon is deployed currently primarily with Russian law enforcement and counterterrorism, and as I said, it's not deployed heavily by any military as far as I can find. So that's about all I could find out about the gun in real life. In the game, look, the deal with the bolt-action sniper rifles in this game is they're great if you can aim really well, if you can get those headshots, if you can pull those off consistently, which You know, I sometimes do okay with them. I'm not going to tonight since I'm kind of tired. A little bit beat up, but this is... I was just tired of spending so long trying to get like a really solid game with this, and I didn't want to make this video like a montage kind of thing, because I don't know. I think it's just that if I actually made what would essentially be a sniper montage, I'd probably hate myself for all eternity. And, I mean, there'd just be so much 360 dubstep post-effects I can't even believe. Anyway, is actually the main reason I'm doing this commentary right now, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a fan of using bolt-action sniper rifles in this game, but they are very solid weapons if you can consistently get those headshots, which I can sometimes do. Even you know, when I am in that state, when I can get them, I still prefer... I don't know, I just don't like the feel of using bolt-action sniper rifles and stuff. And, I mean, despite their efficacy, if you will. And, I mean, as far as the SV-98 specifically goes, look, there are small differences between the different bolt actions in the game. Some of them have a faster bullet speed, some of them have a little bit of a different damage drop-off curve to the others, some of them do a little bit more damage up close, or, you know, slightly more damage. Actually, I think they all do pretty much the same damage now after the most recent patch. You know, some of them move a little bit less when you're pulling the bolt, some of them, the bolt works a little bit faster, they have different magazine sizes, that kind of stuff. But, to be honest, they're pretty much all the same fucking thing. The differences between the bolt actions, I find... Have I mentioned that you actually can't shoot under the water here? Like, if somebody's in the water there, your bullets actually just hit the water and then stop. So, I mean, if they're crouching, and pretty much all you can shoot is their head. If you try to shoot their legs or body under the water, it's not going to do a damn thing. Interesting thing to note about Suba Tower. Anyway. Motherfucker. When it comes down to it, the differences between the bolt-action sniper rifles are small enough that they're pretty much the same thing. The SV-98 is, honestly, probably the worst of the bunch. It just doesn't have anything... It's very, very typical of the bolt-action sniper rifles. It doesn't have anything special about it or notable about it. You know, other guns are faster to work the bolt. Some of them have better range, stuff like that. And there's nothing particularly amazing about the SV-98 as far as the bolt actions go. But that doesn't make it particularly bad either. I personally like the way the gun looks, like the way the gun feels and sounds, and it's one of the bolt-action sniper rifles that I find myself using more often, if I'm in the mood for that kind of gameplay, which, as I've said, I rarely am. And I mean, the M98B, for example, is going to do a lot better at extreme ranges with a bipod 12-time scope kind of setup, but, you know, for the most part, it's just... not even a lot better. It'll do a little bit better. It's got a minor advantage of that kind of thing. And I'd say that, yeah, as I said, the SV-98 is kind of just an all-rounder when it comes to the bolt-action sniper rifles. It is, wow, that guy didn't give a fuck about anything. He went for the revive while I was shooting his face off. Not sure why he thought that would save him. Let's try to avoid exploding, if at all possible. Motherfucker! It's just a very typical bolt-action sniper rifle is what I'm trying to say about it, and I personally, I kind of like it. It's pretty dope. I don't mind using it as far as, you know, bolt actions go. It's A-okay. I wouldn't normally use it in CQ. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. There aren't a vast number of servers up in Australia at this time. I just kind of hopped into the one that was up. Funnily enough, I was sitting here and I was thinking about what... The reason I decided to do this now is, for some reason, I have this distinct impression, or I get the impression anyway, when I'm looking over my own content, which, I mean, I know it's like sit here and watch all my videos or something like that. I rarely watch whole videos or anything like that, but when I'm making commentary or something, I normally have kind of a feel for how it's going, what kind of energy there is, whether or not I think it's going to end up being entertaining, and I've noticed that I seem to produce a lot of the content that I like making the most and that I end up thinking comes out the best when I'm kind of tired at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I think it's kind of because I just chill the fuck out at that point. It all becomes a little bit more natural. Which is, funnily enough, how this whole thing started out for me was I just kind of wanted to chill out and have some fun with it and be really natural. And at a certain point, I think I started taking YouTube, like, I don't know, I started taking this all a little bit more seriously and stuff like that, and it's not so much that, you know, it's not like this is anything even close to a job or anything like that, and I'm still in it for the fun, but I started getting a little bit more serious about, you know, caring about the caliber of my content and stuff like that, and I think, funnily enough, that actually made things distinctly less natural, and actually kind of worse, because I know for me, what makes me watch a commentary, what gets me happy about YouTube videos and stuff like that, is to do with, you know, the personality of the commentator, their charisma, that kind of stuff. And if you start to think too much about what you're doing, if you start to worry too much about things, that gets stifled a little bit. I know it did for me, and you can sort of see it happening. Maybe, you know, you think of other commentators that you watch that has happened to. I know I can think of some people where I got the impression that was what happened. I'm not going to name any names, but besides just me, you know, reading things into their content that may or may not actually be there, I certainly don't know any of these people, you know, personally. I'm a nobody in the YouTube community with my, what, 780-something subs. But it's just something that I sort of notice, is that if you start to take things a little bit too seriously, if you start to, you know, get too worried about the quality of your content instead of just relaxing and being yourself, you sacrifice something, you know, kind of like a sweet flow with your commentaries. You just sacrifice a lot of charisma and personality and charm, I guess is the word, that you might have otherwise had. And I've been feeling that a lot lately in my own content. When I'm making the commentaries, I don't feel as good about them. When I'm looking them over and stuff like that, I haven't felt that they've been as natural as me, even as a lot of my older stuff was before I started, you know, thinking about this kind of crap. And I think the thing for me is, I mean, especially since there'd be no sense whatsoever in me trying to make a business of this YouTube thing at this point, which is, you know, something a lot of people do, whether we like to admit it or not. And I personally don't think there's anything wrong with that. Holy shit, that was a ridiculous headshot. Although there's no point whatsoever in me doing that now, I have gotten more concerned, the more time, the more sort of effort, and with that effort, you know, mental commitment I've put into this, the more I've gotten, you know, concerned with the quality of my content and that kind of crap. And it's actually a weight that I think, you know, not only makes it less fun for me, but I think does bring the content down. So what I'm going to be trying to do a lot of in the coming days and videos and stuff is just trying to get back to that attitude where, I mean, I never cared about anything when I started this thing up. I was just in it for the lulz. I mean, that was the that was actually the tagline on my website for the longest time. I think it still is, actually. It started out as I don't remember what it originally was, but I'm pretty sure it is now and has been for the longest time. Forever in it for the lulz. And that's what it's got to be about, bros. Not just because it's way more awesome for me, but because I honestly think it makes for better, more entertaining commentaries and videos. My god, my life is at an end. And so that's, wow, that's not really related to the SV-98 at all. I did cover the SV-98 earlier in the video, if you recall, though. Probably should have some kind of subtitle on this one to indicate that it's not wholly about that. SV-98, yes, your head exploded. But I did get it in there. I absolutely covered the real-world facts and what I thought of it in the game. That was totally a thing. What else can I talk about for the last... Oh, yeah. There's a new feature on Battlelog today, Battlelog loadouts, where you can actually change your loadout on Battlelog. I thought that was kind of a funny addition this late in the game, considering Battlelog essentially functions as a game menu, and that's just something that you'd expect to have in the game's menu from day one, but I shouldn't complain. It's a nice feature. I'm glad DICE added it. Hopefully now the game will actually remember what camo I was using. Actually, funnily enough, motherfucker! I'm not using the camo that I set on Battlelog right before I got into this game. There's actually some things you can't yet pick in the loadout feature. Hopefully they'll iron out the bugs on that one. You know, DICE has been great so far about polishing the game. There's hardly any bugs left over from day one. Or just stupid polish issues that should never make. Nah, I bitch too much about this game. I love it. You guys know I love it. I really do think BF3 is a good game. That is why I bitch. Not because I hate the game, but because I care, and I want to see it be everything it can be, and right now, it's only almost everything it can be. It just has these weird-ass issues. Anyway, let me know what you thought of the videos, guys. This is only one video. Let me know what you thought of the video, guys. Likes, comments, dislikes, whatever the fuck you feel like. And, I'll see you guys next time. Didn't do so great there, but fuck it. Troubletcat out.